Guys, I am actually just back from my Uncle Chuck's funeral, and I wanted to share some thoughts with you today. My Uncle Chuck passed away last Thursday. He had a long battle with multiple sclerosis, but it was clear at his funeral today that was definitely not what he was defined by. He was definitely more defined by the way he lived. He never complained. In fact, he was always more concerned about other people than he was about himself, and he was always quick with a joke. In fact, I remember, actually it's been 16 years ago, when I was in the middle of our infertility journey, and we were at a lake with a gathering of family, and my Uncle Chuck was on his Amigo, his mobility scooter, and I was sitting with him watching all of my cousins with their little toddlers and babies, and that was pretty heartbreaking for me. And he said to me, "You know, Sarah, when your Aunt Judy and I make love, we like to insert a little playfulness into it." Of course, I knew a joke was coming, so I said, "Oh, really, Uncle Chuck? What do you do?" And he says, "Well, we like to talk to each other when we're making love. Your Aunt Judy says, beige. I think we should paint the ceiling beige." Of course, he made me laugh. In the middle of his multiple sclerosis, he was seeing my pain and reaching out to me to lighten my load, basically. And I really appreciated that. And that is what he did over and over again. That became clear today. In the middle of his battle, he always strived to make people laugh, to focus on what they were dealing with and to lighten their load, like I said, rather than focusing on his own. And what a gift that is. And it reminded me of Proverbs 17:22, which states, "A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones." Well, there are all kinds of studies about what a positive attitude does to chronic disease. It lessens the symptoms, it increases people's longevity, and of course infertility is a chronic disease. So I thought that was a very important scripture for us to think about today. The truth is, in the midst of suffering, whether it be infertility, cancer, MS, you name it, often the only choice we have is our attitude. And sometimes that seems like a small thing or a cliche, but it is huge that we have that choice, that we can choose our attitude. Bruce Waltke, in his book, The Book of Proverbs, says, "The difference between a joyful heart and a broken spirit depends more on a person's spiritual resources than on his circumstances." So as Christians, we should be able to tackle a chronic disease like infertility with grace and even with a smile. My Uncle Chuck did that for 35 years as he battled MS, and I think you can do that too. When you wake up tomorrow, I want you to choose a positive attitude. If you have to do it, go to the mirror and smile at yourself. Say, "I am starting this day with a positive attitude." And then keep your eyes open for others who might need a dose of your cheerful heart, like my Uncle Chuck always did. I hope that encourages you today, and I will see you next week.